so much for joining the Sports Talk
No worries. No worries.
paddock. And so I'll jump right to it. You have been a part of the TAL family since season 1, where you had joined Oakland Spark and you had shuffled to and from sports teams ever since, as for
Yeah.
season 5, right? Where you are with Yagatan FC.
Yeah, I've been with the other guns since season 5, so that's 5 seasons now.
5 seasons. How has your experience been though with TAL ever since?
I've loved it. I'm still trying to figure out how I first got introduced to amateur league, because I played for Oldman's Park in season 1 when they were playing in that school in South Bangalore somewhere. I forgot the name of the school. And it was a very small group, and I really enjoyed it. And the problem is it was a very random set of people put together. The team changed avatar. We were Grasshoppers, then we were Indian Ocean, and all of this. But there was a core that kept moving around, including myself. And it was great. I just wanted an outlet to play competitive football, to be honest, because we were playing 5-a-sides on weekdays, actually on Wednesdays, and it was fun. Of course, there was no, but I just wanted to see if I could play at a little bit more of a competitive level. And Tal offered that platform. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know any of the founders or anything. I just happened to know people who were forming a team, and they asked me to join. I outlasted all of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think most of them play Tal anymore. Variety of reasons, people moved. They took they do play, but they took a break in the middle. I know this guys like Hitesh Lunia, who've been playing for many teams like me, and then I think he's also settled into a team now. And that's the connect. Like I said, it was a strange group. Guys like Hitesh were my senior from school, so I'm not even sure. I'm sure that's not the connection for why I got introduced to Tal. But it's Bangalore. It's a fairly small city. You kind of know a lot of people, and then you start going to learn more. But the Tal experience has been part of me for the last 9 seasons since its inception, and it was a great platform to play competitive football. And I met some interesting people along the way, but Yatagan just felt right, so I finally stayed in one place for some time.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, me too. I've had a great time with the team. Sort of started played a couple of positions. Didn't play almost all of season 7, but definitely I think they were happy to have me back. And then took on some more roles and responsibilities within the team for season 9.
That's great. And I'm sure as a player and manager, what have your experiences been through lockdown and to the current state we are in now? I'm sure you have a few things.
Yeah, so I mean, the role of manager came to me sort of because there was some internal turmoil within the team, and we just needed to solve for a few admin issues. So I took over that. Mark is our captain, and he continues to be so. And Mark and I work closely. Mark's been with Yatakan for many years as well. Mark and I work closely in figuring out what the team should be like on match day and sort of things. Where I handle some of the recruitment parts by myself, because I get a lot of help from guys in and around Bangalore, and the TAL ecosystem is helpful as well in terms of recruiting new players. So it's been season 9 was an interesting season for me on a personal front, obviously, because I did more in terms of responsibilities in managing some portions of the Yatagan team. Post lockdown's been like strange. If you look at the people, we have probably one of the youngest people in TAL and one of the oldest people in TAL. We have people from all sorts of communities and backgrounds. We've been fairly quiet, but we just check in with each other every so often just to make sure everyone's safe, everyone's been healthy. There's not much we can do right now. Obviously, there's no practice sessions. There's nothing. So yeah, lockdown's been obviously a massive buzzkill. We had qualified for
The new plan for the new year.
Yeah, no. So we'd finished third in the season. So I think we're qualified for the cup, I believe, right? And we were all looking forward to that. Of course, it couldn't happen. I'm hoping everyone's keeping some form of fitness and shape to get back into season. I'm sure we'll definitely have some sessions of warm-ups and trainings before we start again, whenever we're able to start again.
So you don't have any
I know
sort of
that
online fitness regime or schedule as
Oh no,
gym or something?
we're not. We don't take ourselves so seriously. I think, and that's part of the charm of playing Yatagan. I think we all are football enthusiasts, but we don't take ourselves seriously, and I think that's why it kind of helps. We all want to play. We all like to play with each other, but we're not overdoing it. I know that there are teams doing it. I'm one part jealous and one part
Oh,
impressed
that's
by all
honest.
the teams that are doing it. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, look, good effort. There are teams building like serious, I guess, footballing pedigree there, and I can appreciate that. But I don't think we are cut out for that. We are, like I told you, we have various age groups, various backgrounds. Our primary interest is to just enjoy playing football together, and I think that's the system that allows it. And so on the pitch, when we're on, we're always,
Yeah.
gung-ho and turned on. And
How do you
ready to
maintain that
play.
balance? There's a balance that you should maintain.
I think it's the people. I think everyone in the Yatagan ecosystem and the team is tuned to that they have a platform that they can play. I know that we aren't the only people a lot of these guys play with. There are people who are in colleges and play for their college team, and they play with other groups of friends. And I think this is just a platform for a lot of people to come and play competitively in 11s, and then people play on other formats as well. Like, I'm sure the college guys play 11s as well, but a lot of us play 5s. So it's a very different sport. It requires a very different discipline. You can argue that it's kicking a ball, but it really isn't the same.
No,
5s and
definitely. I can
11s.
never underestimate any sport.
And I think that's why. So as long as everyone's happy to play with each other, I think we just maintain that vibe, and it's easy to handle it with these group of guys. They're all good people, and even though we're so diverse, the football cuts across everything, so it makes it easy on game days.
So on that note of football, where do you see football league or sport leagues going into 2021? Like, how do you see? Do you see a big change? Do you see anything staying as it is?
I'm not sure. I mean, with the pandemic and the lack of a vaccine as of yet, I know there's tons of work. I work in the pharma industry, so I know what's happening. But I still think we're so far away from large-scale immunization and vaccination protection that recklessly opening football again seems risky. I'm sure you guys are aware of that. I'm sure other leagues are aware of that. I know people are trialing out, opening leagues, but I view it with a bit of hesitation, because right now it's too easy to be reckless. I think we should just be smart about what we should and can be doing. And, if
do you really
like,
suggest putting a pause on it would be a solution, or sort of take it to your own
see,
hands?
there's no one right answer, because on one hand you have people being cautious for their health, as they rightly should be, and on the other hand you have guys like me who, like, I'm considering the mental health impact of not playing football. For me, it's ridiculously difficult, and so I've put together a small group of people that can play together, but it's not even enough to warrant a practice session. It's just a small group of my friends who I know have been isolating, and we play 5s once a week at best, if we can manage 10 people at all. And I know other people are doing this as well, and I think everyone's trying to keep fit, keep playing football in their own pockets, and as things open up, just allow more and more people to play on a bigger and grander scale. But the challenge with a league is, look, I can account for my team at best, but I don't know about the health status of the others. So am I passing something on to them? Are they passing something on to me? And then you play across 8-9 teams, 2 divisions, perhaps, yeah, and that's only TAL. Imagine,
There's so many leagues.
the local leagues and things like that. It's going to be a massive health issue going down the line, and I unfortunately don't believe that we're equipped to handle a US or UK like explosion of cases per capita, because then we don't have the healthcare system for it, to be honest. So I don't want to risk it. There's people in our group as well who are so hesitant to come because they have elderly parents at home or unwell parents, and we don't force these guys to come ever, because it's not worth anybody's health. But if you're willing to take, if you're taking care of yourself and you can account for yourself, it's fine. But I would never ask someone to force someone to come who has an elderly parent or a sick parent or a sick relative in the house, and you don't want to risk that. Today, we need to find that fine balance of taking care of yourself, but also being responsible for the health of the others around you, because that's all you can do at this point. And so, it's not like we get weekly checks or anything before we come and play football, but at least that, these are people who like me, sit at home and work at home. So I have no exposure to this virus. I'm home boringly, 7 days a week, except for that one excursion, which I guess is the safety factor for the rest of my friends to say that, okay, at least this guy's not at risk. And everybody's like that. Everyone's getting used to working from home and doing things differently. So I guess that's just this. And I don't know what's going to happen. I think even with a vaccine being available, it needs to be available at a scale that's large enough to immunize the population and cheap enough for everyone to afford it. Because not just my team with a diverse socio-economic background, TAL is just like this. You have this time around, I found so many interesting teams, like guys like Vipers with a group of young kids, which is so refreshing to see in our season, in this season in TAL. And you have your teams from season 1, like Gremio and Horizons, still kicking about in some shape or form. And you have, so it doesn't make sense to risk and put stress on the healthcare system today.
It's something like they have to take it into their own hands, basically.
Yeah, but also I don't have a perspective on how people will reopen leagues. I mean, yeah, I do talk to Kishore at TAL quite often, and I know they have plans, but it has to be so phased and so well controlled to handle it, because there's going to be an element of fear. Yeah, I agree. You have to start somewhere, and how it's going to be a testament of mindfulness of how people bring this back. Because everyone's keen. I know everyone is sitting at the edge of the seats trying to figure out a safe but enjoyable system. I mean, football is not a game you can do with social distancing. It's just not. That's not an option. So to do it, you'll have teams around sanitization. Even if it's not just the team that you're playing, there's going to be teams waiting in the bleachers getting ready for the next. You have referees who not only attending your games but the other games. You can avoid handshakes, but you can't avoid physical contact.
You can't avoid tackles. You can't avoid
I'm a defender. I'm going to get as close. Yeah, exactly. As a defender, I'm going to get as close as possible.
You'll want to get as close. You won't let them go.
Yeah, exactly. And so we need to find the right solution for it to be open. I know that everyone's looking forward to it. I am.
But keeping that in mind, how do you suggest people tackle the mental bit of it? I know people are eager to get out, but they're still scared about what.
Yeah, I think.
So how do they balance that?
I think the first and foremost. I think first and foremost, you have to take care of your physical health. Just do some exercises. Um, whether it's at home, you can do so much with your own body weight, or if you can acquire some weights, do some lightweight training. I think that's the most important thing. I think for a lot of people, I'm sure they'll agree that the return of football on television has been a blessing as well. Whether you're following the Premier League or the German league or the Bundesliga or whatever it is, just the ability to sit down and while away. I'm sure there are guys like me who while away 6 hours on Saturday, 4 hours on Sunday watching football. So at least you're occupied for 10 hours in the weekend watching various Premier League games, and at least that allows you to be active in terms of mentally active, watching the sport, learning from it, and if you can play football, great. Play football in a safe environment, and at least keep your touch up, because that could go. Not that it will go completely, but I'm sure your first touch after 11 months off, hopefully that's when we can come back.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be as silky smooth as it was on the final game week of season 9 of TAL, right?
That is
true. So I was doing things like, I just took a ball and I was juggling in the house just to keep, that contact, that physical contact of shooting. Yeah, that touch you don't want to lose. And then obviously some exercise, cardio is important, because for people like me, and I'm sure students as well, who are either working or sat down in front of a system for so long, you just want to make sure that you have some levels of fitness when you're back up, because when you're running around, nothing nothing knocks the wind out of you than the first 10-15 minutes after not having played for ages. So some level of cardio.
And your
I think with those 3-4 things, if you can manage in some scale, you'll at least have one, you're occupied, which I think will take away the whole stress of, oh my God, I'm locked down and I'm, burdened with this pandemic. But also just allow you to hit the ground. I wouldn't say running. I don't think anyone's been able to hit the ground running on a return, but definitely hit the ground jogging briskly. Let's put it that way.
Briskly.
Yeah. Like I said, I started playing with a small group of friends. Every week I can see that the quality of the football is improving. But the fitness is so far off. I mean, 6 months off, 7 months off is just...
No, but sure, there's a start. There's a start somewhere.
It's a start, and I think you have to be a little bit self-reliant here, because you can't rely on a massive platform like TAL or college, because even colleges are shut, to enable this. So I think you have to be a little bit reliant. And I know there are people working out. My goalkeeper is on social media, and I know he stays fit. So I'm happy for him. I'm hoping. Other than Bhaskar, a lot of other guys are doing similarly well as well, and I'm sure they are. And that's it. I think you have to be you have to take this on your own prerogative. But I think there is definitely enough you can do. Everybody luckily has a football, I'm sure, at home. Kick it around, kick it against the wall, make it come back to you, kick it again. Try and aim for the same spot maybe. Focus on some, accuracy. There's a few things you can do, and if you're doing that, I think when we are ready, whenever we are ready, things will be a lot easier.
Yeah,
that's at least my perspective. I could be completely wrong, and I'm happy to hear all my other teams.
I mean, everyone would love to hear something like this, which is actually quite helpful, because at least they'll know that someone is thinking this way. And which brings me to my last question. Actually, I want to ask you, if you had one message to give to anyone, to students, to people who are working from home like you, or to anyone who's in a dilemma, what would you want to tell them? One message.
Tough question. I think what we just spoke about, keep yourself busy, keep yourself occupied. We will go back to some level of normal. What that's going to look like, I don't know. It's not going to be too far away from where we were in early March, because as a planet, we faced this twice before. So it's not like we don't know that it's going to go back, and no one remembers Spanish flu and all of these things. We all had to dig up history books in March because we were like, oh, this is a thing that could happen. And then, you know, in April, we're like, oh, this happened. But I think just keep yourself mentally occupied. If you're a footballer or just a football enthusiast, just get involved in the sport as much as possible. Watch football leagues, watch your favorite players, watch your favorite teams play. Luckily, that's not stopped, or, you know, it did stop, but it's back on again.
Yeah.
Please just exercise. I mean, I can't stress on this enough. It's been great. Like, I've been upping my exercise. I managed to lose a little bit of weight as well. I've put on a lot of weight. So
Oh,
I
wow.
always
The balance is there.
it's just important. Yeah. Just important to keep your fitness up, because at whatever level, I mean, even if it says amateur league, it's a extremely competitive sport. It's physically demanding, and we're all waiting, you know, to see everyone back on the pitch. So you don't want to be that guy who's on the bench because he's put on 15 kilos in the last 7 months. I'm sure there's nobody like that. I was just hyperbole, but you want to make sure that you're fit enough to take your spot back on that starting 11, because no one, I mean, even in that squad of 15 or 16, no one wants to be sitting down after so many months out, right? So you want to, I'm saying, stay fit for your team's benefit, for your benefit, of course, just so that you're ready, because we don't know when that could be. It could be 2 months away, could be a year away, and I think it's up to you to just keep those levels of fitness up. And if you can do that, and if you can really manage to play a few games, be careful, play with people that you trust to be safe. You know, just check in on them before they play, make sure they're not showing any symptoms. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like playing football. Honestly, for guys like us, there's no equivalent. We look forward to it every week if you can. And these were guys playing multiple times a week and now not playing at all. So I admire everyone's mental endurance in managing this. It's not over, but if you can help yourself by doing, you know, those exercises, those touches, what's a football, educate yourself a bit, nothing like it.
Lovely. So that's a lovely message. Thanks, Aditya.
No worries. Thank you so much.
Spending so much time, and take care.
Cheers. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.